I have good news and bad news. The bad news is you can never acquire another book again. The good news is if you're anything like me, you probably won't run out anyway. Hello, welcome to my channel, Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg. Today I'm doing the What If I Could Never Acquire Another Book tag. It was created by Mike at Bibliophile Bookscape. I can't remember who tagged me. This tag gave me a lot of consternation because I kept thinking about it too logically. Why wouldn't I be able to acquire new books? Did I suffer some kind of financial disaster? Was there an authoritarian regime restricting the purchase of books? Mike suggested just going with the flow and not worrying about it too much. So let's begin. Prompt number 1. If you could never acquire another book again, how long do you think your current library would last you? I own about 3,000 books in print and digital formats. I'm excluding audiobooks from this tag. I read about 120 books a year, so my library would last me roughly 25 years. At age 61, that takes me to about age 86. Since about 30% of my reading consists of rereads, I'd only be getting through about 84 books each year. That means my library would actually last about 36 years, taking me to roughly age 97. I'm in relatively good health. My family tends to be long-lived, but 97 is still a stretch. Maybe healthcare will improve dramatically over the coming decades. In any case, I think my current library would keep me occupied for the rest of my life. Prompt number 2. What book do you own that you would give first attention to? I don't think there's one specific book that would immediately jump to the front of the line. Instead, I would probably create a methodical plan for working through my library. I'd make sure I'd rotate through every genre: literary fiction, science fiction, mystery and crime, horror, nonfiction, and everything else on my shelves. I'd also rotate through every format: hardcovers, trade paperbacks, mass market paperbacks, and digital books. Authors where I own a large number of books would also go into regular rotation. In short, I would get to know my library extremely well. In the past, I've often bought books simply because I thought, why not? Maybe I'd read it someday. Well, in this scenario, that someday has arrived. I enjoy making reading lists, and I'm not much of a mood reader. Not being able to buy new books would probably make me even more enthusiastic about planning my reading. Prompt number 3. What book would you regret not owning? Right now, there are only 4 authors on my automatic buy list: William T. Vollmann, Tana French, Adrian Tchaikovsky, and Claudio Pinheiro. Of those 4, William T. Vollmann has a massive new novel being published in August, A Table for Fortune. That might be the book I'd regret missing the most. Prompt number 4. Would you miss discovering new books, or would you enjoy rediscovering what you already have? This is where the tag gives me consternation again. Am I simply not allowed to buy new books? Or am I not allowed to acquire them in any way? Can I borrow them from the library? Can I borrow them from friends? I'm just going to go take the title literally. For whatever mysterious reason, I simply cannot acquire new books. No buying, no library books, no borrowing. In that case, I probably wouldn't pay much attention to the new releases. I already own an enormous library, and that could easily last me for decades. reads. Instead, I will dive deeply into the books that I already have. I am certain there are wonderful books sitting on my shelves that I might never have discovered otherwise. Prompt number 5. How would you handle seeing people talking about amazing new books you couldn't get? I think I'd handle it much the same way as I'd handle hearing people talking about traveling to places I'll probably never visit. It's still interesting to hear about where they've been, what they've seen, what they've experienced, even if I'm never going to go there myself. New books would be much the same. I'd probably feel a little wistful about not being able to read them, but I wouldn't let it affect me too deeply. There's no psychological advantage in mourning what I cannot do, cannot achieve, or cannot obtain. In this scenario, I still have my own library, and that would be enough. Prompt number 6. Would bookstores still be enjoyable if you couldn't buy anything? Honestly, I think my answer is much the same as in the previous prompt. I might still wander into bookstores from time to time and browse the shelves. I'd enjoy looking at the new books, but I wouldn't let the fact that I couldn't buy them spoil the experience. Okay, time to tag a few people. As always, you absolutely don't have to do this tag if you don't want to. Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics. MJ at Reading This Life. Brian at Bookish. Gareth at Books, Songs, and Other Magic. And if anyone else watching this video who wants to do this tag, please consider yourself tagged by me. Go for it. Thank you for watching. And as always, keep on reading.